Hi, my name's Jasmine and I am one of the education officers at the Maritime Archaeology Trust. Over the last 30 years, the Trust has put education and outreach at the forefront of everything we do. We've undertaken sessions with thousands of children and adults on a range of topics, from the depths of prehistory right through to the First and Second World Wars. Our education programme is varied and flexible, and we encourage people of all ages, backgrounds and abilities to engage with our shared heritage. Our approach is always to foster tangible connections through hands-on and interactive learning. There's just something about being able to hold a 600,000-year-old hand axe in your hand and imagine its journey, going from the hands that shaped it to being lost and sinking quietly into the earth where it waited for millennia. Through the rise and fall of empires, through natural disasters, through wars and revolutions, waiting for the moment it erodes out the cliffside and is picked up by a beachcomber or a dog walker. All that intangible history, concentrated in a bit of very real, very tangible stone, can help to capture imaginations and foster a lifelong respect and love for the past. When teaching school-age students, our sessions are designed to tie into the national curriculum and other frameworks, supporting key learning themes across many different subjects. We also help to train other educators in using archaeology in the classroom through CPD sessions and resources, and we also offer educational volunteering opportunities for those who really want to get stuck in. Maritime archaeology has so much to offer as a vehicle for learning beyond just historical facts. When we have physical traces of the past, it helps to support evidence-based learning and offers a primary source that speaks for itself rather than being filtered through secondary sources. It's also great for developing soft skills like critical thinking, learning to question the historical record and recognising the difference between interpretation and fact is a key skill. Other activities that we run help to develop teamwork and creativity. For example, creating landing craft and scrap materials in teams as part of our D-Day wall project. The soft skill development is often a welcome side effect to primary learning goals, which can stretch across and form links between different subjects. As an example, we could look at Roman trading, which can expand geographical knowledge, or learn how to measure and record sites, which puts math into practice. There are also many opportunities to incorporate creative writing, art, or even build in science and IT through 3D models and underwater robot building. It also allows us to tackle the big topics like climate change, the movement of people, or national identities in a real-world context, and it gives students this tangible evidence for these much larger concepts. Due to its breadth, maritime archaeology also lends itself well to all learning styles. For kinesthetic learners, being able to touch, hold, and maybe even smell archaeology can be the bridge they really need to get to grips with the subject matter. For the visual learners, there's everything from mapping of sites to projects which use historical paintings of the coastline to help understand climate change. For linguistic learners, there's of course plenty of reading and research to be done, or for those with an oral leaning, oral history and SAS aid projects are also available. There's always something for everyone. We also find that archaeology can be a good way to engage students with special educational needs, because that tactile nature of archaeological material, or the way it lends itself to impressions described orally or in picture form, they can help those who find it difficult to engage in other ways. And of course, though we here at the Trust may be a bit biased on the matter, archaeology is just exciting. Whether it's that ancient hand axe, sunken shipwrecks, wartime tales of terror or valour, it's been capturing imaginations for many years. When we're motivated by that excitement, it becomes that much easier to take on and retain information, which, no matter the specific subject matter, always improves the learning process. Our outreach programme has been running a long time, and in that period, techniques and best practices have changed quite a lot. Across archaeology as a whole, technology has become more and more important, but that doesn't mean to say that more traditional techniques don't still have their place. One of our favourite low-tech activities is object handling, and we have an extensive collection of handling artefacts, including mini prehistoric flint tools, replicas of organic finds like hazelnuts, leather pouches and bones, and of course plenty of material from First and Second World War shipwrecks. When exploring the objects, we encourage users to ask questions of it as they hold it in their hands. What's it made out of and why? Why might it have this feature or that one? How old might it be, or what might it have been used for? This process draws out those critical thinking and investigative skills, actively engaging the brain rather than it just being in passive information receiving mode. It's also the perfect opportunity to create discussion by sharing ideas and pooling knowledge, and quite often by the end of a session, children are informing their parents of what they've learnt, so the knowledge is shared round. As well as handling real objects, being able to visit real sites is a great way to connect with the past. Although a lot of maritime archaeology sites are underwater, there are plenty in the intertidal zone or related sites on land that we can still visit. As Helen has already mentioned, recently we have facilitated visits to the Southampton D-Day Wall. And during the visits, students can see for themselves the wall inscriptions, and when combined with the classroom activities, stories of the soldiers really came to life for them. We know that site visits or facilitated sessions aren't always practical, however, and for these occasions we've created lots of resources for you to use in the classroom or at home. We've got 3 activity boxes for sale. These are The Life of the Shipwreck, which looks at shipwreck from sinking to its discovery by archaeologists. And with this box, students can gain a basic understanding of ship parts and chronology, underwater preservation, and how archaeologists record shipwrecks. Then we've got the Shipwrecks Habitats box, which contains a microscope and samples of marine creatures that can be found living on those shipwrecks around the UK. This one's a particularly good one for tying into science studies. And then finally we've got the prehistory box, which encourages students to think about time depth and stratigraphy, and it gives an overview of historic climate change and mechanisms by which archaeological sites end up underwater. Each of the boxes comes with an activity guide, all the materials needed for the activities, and one of our timeline posters and some copies of our activity booklet. They're perfect for in-classroom activities or as follow-ups or precursors to some of our facilitated sessions. And you can find out more about these on our website. Also available online, we've got lots of worksheets and several educational packs available to download for free, covering a range of topics, so please do go to the website to check those out. In order to facilitate access to our online resources, we're in the process of developing a new website, which will be available towards the end of this month. Don't worry though, any current links, like the one on the previous slide, will get you to the right place when it finally goes live. The new website will make it even easier to find all of our resources, including those worksheet downloads, podcasts, videos, interactives, so watch this space. One of our other key resources, and one some of you may have seen out and about before, is our Discovery Bus. Originally developed in 2009, over the last decade the bus has visited schools and public events locally, nationally and internationally. It's been to France, Spain, the Netherlands and Cyprus, and it's seen thousands of people pass through its displays. On the bus we have information on current projects, handling artefacts, try-on dive kit and mini excavation, miniature versions of airlifts, touchscreen games, video screens and a microscope. And during public events we welcome everyone on board to explore, with our keen staff and volunteers on hand to answer questions. This year has seen the bus supporting the Chesil Rex project and visiting Weymouth Town Centre and the Chesil Beach Discovery Centre, as well as hosting the D-Day Wall display. For schools and groups, we usually combine our Discovery Bus visits with a classroom session, but they are also available separately. Our standard sessions take the form of an introductory talk, followed by splitting a class in half, with half going out to explore the Discovery Bus and the other half staying in the classroom to explore the dive kit, and then they swap over halfway through. We've run lots of other forms of session though, and one of our specialities is bespoke sessions to your topic or local area. As an example, we've done a number of sessions where students create stop motion animations of the story of a shipwreck, or we go out into the field and we do a facilitated site visit. We've done sessions focusing on all the science that goes into archaeological investigation, art projects exploring historical graffiti, object handling, or on how to do good online research. This year, our sessions have been mostly focused on the D-Day Wall project, where we have worked with schools, home education groups, and the Young Archaeologists Club. Sessions kicked off with an introduction to World War II in Southampton and the project, and it was followed up by a visit to the wall. While there, students were challenged to answer a quiz, the answers to which were within the names on the wall. After that, back in the classroom, we then tasked them with building their own landing craft from scrap materials, which had to be capable of floating, carrying 10 Lego men, and had to have a working door or ramp. We had some fantastic landing craft built, and most of them even floated. The Young Archaeologists Club also got a chance to think about what mark they would have made on the wall, and then make and inscribe their own bricks out of clay. If you're interested in a session for your school or group, please do get in touch via our website. While I've been focusing on low-tech outreach so far, there are now exciting technologies that can enhance the way in which we engage with archaeology. You will have already seen in Brandon's talk how we have been and continue to be developing our 3D models of sites and artefacts, and how we offer them freely online. We can display these on the Discovery Bus too, and visitors can explore a shipwreck in 3D before getting to handle objects from wrecks just like it. We've also been developing virtual reality experiences. With a VR headset, you can explore a shipwreck, just as it is on the seabed, without even getting wet. If you've never tried VR before, it can be a bit strange at first, but once you get used to it, it's an incredible experience. You don't need an expensive headset to try the VR at home, just a smartphone and a Google Cardboard headset or something similar. And these are available really cheaply online. Once you've got those, you can go to our Sketchfab page, select the View in VR button, pop your phone in the headset, and away you go. With both the models and the VR experiences, we can add lots of extras, including photographs, sound, video, information overlays, and guided tours to make a really rich and fun learning experience. While we of course love to meet people in person for outreach, we also like to reach out virtually over social media, something that's been especially important this year, and that's been reflected in the unprecedented amount of engagement on our social media channels. If you're watching this, then you've already found our Facebook page, but we also have YouTube, where a video of these talks will be available, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Technology, like what I've described so far, has a huge potential to engage younger audiences with heritage, and the skills learnt within the field are highly transferable and widely used in other industries. One project that is bringing these skills to new audiences is our Waves of Change project. Launched last year, the first course of this project saw 6 young people join us for a 7-week course to help bridge the gap between education and employment, with an emphasis on those who are not currently following a path to higher education, or who would otherwise have easy access to skills training opportunities. During the course, participants, all aged between 16 and 25, learnt about and got hands-on with virtual reality, drones, diving, and creating their own 3D models with photogrammetry. Feedback from the first course was very positive. Participants were proud of their new skills, and they went away with the confidence to put them into practice in future. Unfortunately, we've been unable to run the course again this year so far, but we hope, present situation allowing, that we will be able to run the course again for a further 7 students in January 2021, and we'll update you at next year's AGM on how this goes. In the meantime, thanks for listening, and we hope to see you again at events and outreach sessions before too long.